Well, right now, above and beyond, thank you so much for giving us a head start at this summit. And but for now, I invite you both to take your places on the wings.
Thank you.
And I will invite you
We'll
shortly.
keep meeting you all through the day and tomorrow.
All right, ladies and
you.
gentlemen, let's give a round of applause to Above and Beyond. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and a very warm welcome to Global Tech Summit 2024, brought to you by the Vibrant Goa Foundation. And I'm your host. My name is Ruchika Davar. And when I say good morning, thank you. I love you. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here. We are celebrating probably the start and foundation of what would probably become one of the biggest technology fests in India and over a period of time, I hope, in the entire South Asia. We are setting the ball rolling this morning, and for each one of you that is seated in the hall, including our esteemed guests, the dignitaries right in the front, the best part is that today, as each one of you attend the founding inaugural of the Global Tech Summit in Goa, you people are going to be a part of history. So before I move any further, may I request each one of you to please put your hands together for yourselves. एक बार अपने लिए और अपने पड़ोस में बैठे व्यक्ति के लिए तालियां बजाएं. And now with this, as I start, a little bit of a formal announcement, as is the conference hygiene anywhere. Wherever you are seated, if you are left-handed, may I see your left hand up in the air? And if you're right-handed, may I see your right hand up in the air? And now can we take our hand around, not on your neighbor's shoulder? In the next step of this exercise, I want to see your smartphones in your hand. And now the toughest moment of the day, ladies and gentlemen, let's put the silent button on. Because the ones who are coming up here, not only are they a great support to this entire, setup that is going to be unveiled over the next 2 days, they are the inspiration, they are the reason that we are all here, and I want your total undivided attention as I start inviting our esteemed guests onto the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, traditionally, we live in a country where we like to associate divinity with everything. And a lot of states in our country have names that are associated with gods, literally. For example, you have a state like Kerala, which loves to use the tagline, God's own country. Then you have got Uttarakhand, which is known as Dev Bhumi. You've got Uttar Pradesh, you've got Varanasi, which is Dev Sthan. But let me tell you one thing, irrespective of wherever the gods stay, even the gods come to holiday in Goa. It is the place. Traditionally, everyone talks about Goa as the land of sun, sand, and sea. Today, it gives me great pleasure to add one more S to it. Ladies and gentlemen, henceforth, especially over the last few years, when Goa has seen, amazing development and great strides in future technology, in startups, it gives me great pleasure to say that Goa is now the land of sun, sea, sand, and startups. And that is what we are celebrating here. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, as I start, I would now like to invite on the podium with me my co-presenter for the inaugural, the Honorary Secretary of the Vibrant Goa Foundation. He is the very dynamic, he's already here, the dapper Vinay Verma of PowerTrack Corporation and Energy Solutions. Let's give him a round of applause.
Good morning, Goa!
So everyone, as you're all seated here to celebrate the inaugural, I'm sure some of you have already taken the time out to go and have a look at the expo outside. Over the next 2 days, as we shall deliberate over all aspects of IT, of artificial intelligence, of data security, of cyber security, prototypes, these 2 days, I promise you, are going to be educational, they are going to be fun, but then for each one of you who is at heart a developer and an entrepreneur, I can promise you these 2 days are going to be full of networking, and I promise you're going to be going back richer and none the wiser. With this, I'd like to start inviting on the stage somebody making a spectacular entry this morning. Please put your hands up for the chairman of the Global Tech Summit, Mr. Milind Anvekar, walking in. All eyes to the aisle, please. Let's have a look. Ladies and gentlemen, well, a big hello from a cyber friend to everyone in the house. Can we have a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? And I can promise you this is just the beginning. But no matter how much the technology becomes a part of our lives, there's one thing I hope technology will never be able to replace, and that is human presence and human element. And we are absolutely lucky and privileged today to have with us some of our most esteemed guests who are here to inspire us and support us in this morning of inauguration. I would now like to invite on stage the Vice President, Vibrant Goa. I would like to now invite on stage the Vice President of Vibrant Goa Foundation, Mr. Manoj Patil, to kindly escort in the audience right now a big luminary in the house, the ex-Union Minister, 6 times Member to Parliament and Chairman, the Chancellor of Rishihood University. May I please invite Mr. Patil to kindly escort Mr. Suresh Prabhu onto the stage. और जी बिल्कुल सुरेश प्रभु जी सर बोल रहे हैं, तो मैं उनके साथ ही ये भी निवेदन करूंगी कि हमारे साथ यहाँ पर हैं the Honorable Chief Minister of Goa, the ever dynamic Dr. Pramod Sawant, under whose stewardship Goa is marching fast towards its development goals, its future aspirational goals. I would like to request the Chairman VGF, Shri Rajkumar Kamath ji, to please escort him to the stage. With this, I would now like to invite the President VGF, Mr. Armand Bantley, to kindly escort the IAS Ms. Svetika Sachin onto the stage. I would now like to also invite on stage to take their seats with us. I would like to invite Mr. Mangirish Pairaikar. Please join us on the stage, sir. The Council Chair, ASSOCHAM. I would like to request Vinay ji to please escort him to his seat. I would now like to invite Mr. Sujit Shetty onto the stage to join us for the inaugural. Requesting Vinay ji to please escort him to his seat. Mr. Sujit Shetty is the President of GTA, the Goa Technology Association. Ladies and gentlemen, with this, as all our esteemed guests are seated up here, you know, in Goa, it's all about Moog. It's all about love. And when we talk about love, how do we express love? We express love by presenting a bouquet, a welcome bouquet to each one of our speakers. We express our faith in the divinity and the universe by lighting the inaugural lamp. And primarily, before we do any of that, we have someone very special coming up. I would like to invite the promoter of EP Kamath Group. His manufacturing business has garnered significant recognition, receiving 2 national awards from KVIC and the Ministry of MSME. The crowning achievement among his endeavors came with the successful IPO of EP Biocomposites Limited in September 2022, which was oversubscribed by a remarkable 17.5 times. Simultaneously, he works toward employment creation through entrepreneurial growth, utilizing his position as the Executive Director of BNI Goa, President of Laghu Udyog Bharti, the Chairman of Vibrant Goa Foundation, and the member of the Investment Promotion Board. the man who's been the driving force behind this entire endeavor, to deliver a welcome address to everyone in the house and on stage. Please give a resounding applause to Rajkumar Kamp.
A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the trustees, the Board of Advisors of Vibrant Goa Foundation and the organizing committee of the Global Tech Summit, I would like to warmly welcome each and every one of you to the first ever Global Tech Summit in Goa. My special welcome and gratitude to the chief guest of today's function, Honorable Dr. Pramod Sawantji. Thank you, sir, for being here despite difficulties, despite the code of conduct. Thank you very much for being here. I would also like to welcome Shwetika Sachan, the industry's secretary, who has been supporting the activities on the industry front and otherwise in a very, very amazing fashion. Most importantly, I would like to welcome the person who has been guiding us in this journey of whether it is Global Tech Summit or the Amazing Goa Global Expo and Summit later, very honorable Sri Suresh Prabhuji. Thank you, sir. I would also like to thank and welcome our partner associations who are in the audience as well as here on the dais, Mr. Mangresh Pairaikar, Mr. Sujit Shetty of GTA, my colleagues, the trustees of Vibrant Goa, and of course, I would like to also profusely thank our presenting partners, 63 Moons, powered by partners, the VFS Global, Tangentia, the Platinum partners, the Gold partners, IB Cricket. Besides, of course, we have Taj Siddhartha Goa, CIO Club, GTA, Prime TV, Ethernet Express, all these sponsors, the heads of organizations, for their strong support and gracious presence. Thank you very, very much. Friends, as I stand before you, my mind goes to 9th of February 2018. That was the time our ex-defense minister and late chief minister of Goa, Padma Bhushan Manoharbhai Parrikar, who had just finished his talk on vision for Goa. And post the talk, we were discussing, and he mentioned that because this was a place, we were having a Goa Beach Fest, a 3-day event conducted by BNI. He said, we need to go a step further. He said, why not we have something on the lines of Vibrant Gujarat, something big. But he said one thing, it will have to be initiated by a business organization and supported by the government. That way things would be much more efficient. We took the cue, we started thinking about it. I came back, I talked to my friends, Mr. Rasik Naik, Vinay Verma, Dinesh Dulapkar, Manoj Patil, Arman Bankley, and we thought this is a good idea that we need to take further. And they say, when you are very passionate about something, things start happening. In the same month, Dr. Jagat Shah, who had participated and a part of organizing team in the Vibrant Gujarat, Arman met him, and he then gave us a lot of input on how this could be done. This is how the thing started. But before we went ahead, we talked to two people. One was Mr. Nitin Kukalekar, and second, the then speaker and now the Honorable Chief Minister, Dr. Pramod Sawant. They supported us fully and encouraged us to move ahead with this particular initiative. So along the way, as you all know, the first edition of Vibrant Goa Global Expo and Summit was held in October 2019. And it was extremely successful thanks to the support offered by then Chief Minister, the present Chief Minister, Dr. Pramod Sawantji, as well as all organizations, including GCCI, BNI, and others who supported the initiative in absolutely amazing fashion. In fact, I remember there were more than 6,500 delegates, including 542 delegates who came from 52 countries. We had more than 200 exclusive stalls, more than 400 B2B meetings, 2 world records were created, and finally, at the end of it, in fact, things went on. And in the last couple of years, using the connects from Vibrant Goa, nearly more than 30 entrepreneurs started off their export journey. So we were extremely happy, and we have decided to continue this in even better fashion. Immediately after Vibrant Goa, the world was struck by the pandemic. And as you all know, but despite that, we had quite a few activities, whether it was the roundtable for the hospitality industry, whether it was workshop on exports along with EEPC, or whether it was the Inspiration Awards. We kept the things running. We kept the whole idea, of course, beyond, behind it was to bring in infuse positive energy. 2018 was a time when mining had been closed. Construction was also working at a slow pace. There was general despondency around, and it was necessary to infuse this positive energy. And this event did just that. It not only infused the positive energy, but it went on and has become a place from where which Vibrant Goa, which facilitates people, entrepreneurs to get into exports and collaborations in ongoing fashion. As we were looking to accelerate our activities and organize second edition of this event even on a grander scale, we approached Shri Suresh Prabhuji, ex-Union Minister, to guide us as Chairman of the Board of Advisors. And we were extremely delighted when he spontaneously agreed to our request. And some of the things that he came up with a lot of ideas, but some of them included that he said that we should have sustainability and inclusivity as an integral part and focus areas as we move forward. And we started doing that. Sir, in the month of June, we are planning to have the Sustainability Summit as well. We will be discussing this with you in the evening. He suggested that since the focus is on business and trade and not an investment like Vibrant Gujarat, we should have our own unique identity as far as the signature event is concerned. And therefore, we changed the name of the signature event to Amazing Goa Global Expo and Summit. Do you like the name? Please give Shri Suresh Prabhu a big hand for the change that we have done. He liked our idea of having this Global Tech Summit to help businesses understand the technology trends and prepare themselves so that they are future ready. We have also been fortunate that our dynamic Chief Minister, besides highly proactive Industries Minister, extremely supportive IT Minister, and the entire bureaucracy, including Shwetika Madam and others, have been supporting us in all our endeavors targeted at strengthening and helping Goan businesses scale up and grow. I would like to profusely thank each one of them for their proactive support and encouragement. I would also like to take this opportunity to once again thank all the expert speakers who accepted our invitation and would be enlightening us. Some very important topics for the next 2 days. I'm sure you will not miss this opportunity of utilizing the insights and inputs from the experts. My colleague, Mr. Milind Anvekar, the immediate past president of Goa Technology Association, the trustee of Vibrant Goa Foundation, and who is also the chairman of the Global Tech Summit event, and who has worked tirelessly with his team to make this happen, will be giving you the details shortly. With large number of expert sessions, multiple fireside chats, crucial panel discussions, and experience zones, I'm sure all the delegates gathered here will have a lot to take away. And friends, this would be a wonderful opportunity to networking with the experts as well. Once again, I would like to welcome each and every one of you. Special welcome to some of the expert speakers and our partners. Joseph Massey, MD of 63 Moons, Professor Naveen Kumar Chaudhary from National Science Forensic, Commander Narang from Manohar Parrikar Institute of Defense Science, Praveen Jitarwal, VFS Global, Vijay Thomas, founder of Tangentia, Umesh Mehta, the president of CIO Club, and many others who have made sure that they are here to give inputs, to give insights, and make this a fantastic summit to remember. Friends, please give yourself a round of applause for being a part of this historic summit. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kamath, for not only sharing the entire contour of the journey for the Global Tech Summit, but also spelling out your expectations not only from the partners, the delegates, the exhibitors, and let's hope that each one of these expectations is fulfilled over the next 2 days. Ladies and gentlemen, as I started, I told you it's all about welcoming our guests with love, lots of more. So I would now like to invite our presenters to please extend a floral welcome to each one of our guests on the stage. I would now like to invite Mr. Rasik Nayak to present a welcome bouquet to the Honorable Chief Minister, Dr. Pramod Sawantji. Well, our cyber dog seems to have taken a liking to the guests on the stage. A big welcome going out to Suresh Prabhu sir. I'd like to invite Vinay Verma on the stage, please. Inviting Mr. Dinesh Dhulapkar to welcome the ma'am IAS Svetika Sachinji. She is also the Secretary for Industries with a floral bouquet. We have also in the audience, our key sponsors are here with us, 63 Moons. I would like to request Mr. Ajay Gramopadhyay to present a bouquet to Mr. Joseph Massey, who's seated right in the front. I would now like to request Mr. Gautam Kharangate to please welcome Mr. Mangarish Pairaikar. Ladies and gentlemen, before we move on to what is next on the agenda, मैं आप लोगों से जरूर एक बात कहना चाहूंगी. आप लोगों में मुझे आज की सुबह जो स्फूर्ति नजर आ रही है, जो शक्ति नजर आ रही है, जो स्पिरिट नजर आ रही है, वो देखकर वाकई मेरा दिल हर्ष से भर गया. इतनी तालियां आप लोग बजा रहे हैं कि बाहर ट्रैफिक जैम है. You know, we've already done our presentations and this hall is entirely pitch quiet and silent. सब लोग इंतजार कर रहे हैं कि शायद यहाँ कुछ ही क्षणों में मुरारी बापू का सत्संग आरंभ होगा. So can I request everyone, for each one of you seated here, our esteemed guests have just received some bouquets. So Mr. Rajkumar Kamath gave a great address. Cumulatively, can we have a huge round of applause to make up for the lack of it? Thank you. And with this, I invite our honorable guests to please proceed towards the inaugural lamp. And for this, I would also like to invite from audience Mr. Joseph Massey. कहते हैं कि हर शुभ कार्य की शुरुआत होती है मंगल दीप के प्रज्वलन से और उसके साथ ही आगाज होता है बहुत सारी प्रेरणा का, रोशनी का, ज्ञान का. बार अगर आप इसके साथ ही अपनी तालियों की ध्वनि सम्मिलित कर देंगे तो मुझे लगता है वाइब और भी बेटर हो जाएगा. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, with this, it's time for me to invite on the podium our next speaker, who is basically going to give us a lowdown about the entire event layout, who's going to be talking about the nitty-gritties of the Global Tech Summit 2024 here in Goa. Please put your hands up for Mr. Milind Anvekar.
Honorable dignitaries, esteemed guests, distinguished speakers, esteemed delegates, ladies, gentlemen, students, and my dear friends. It's with great pleasure and honor that I welcome you all to the inaugural ceremony of the Global Tech Summit 2024 here in the beautiful land of Goa. As the chairman of this summit, I am humbled to stand before you today and mark the beginning of this momentous event. Today, we gather here with a shared vision. A vision to empower businesses, startups, professionals and students with the transformative power of technology. This effort of ours is very much aligned with the vision of our dynamic Honorable Chief Minister, Dr. Pramod Sawant, and also our IT Minister and Industries Ministers towards a Swayambhurna and Vikasit Goa. In an era where technological advancements and reshaping industries, all the technological advancements that are reshaping the industries at an unprecedented pace, it is very imperative that we come together to understand, adapt, and harness the potential of emerging technologies for a brighter future. Over the years, the landscape of technology has evolved dramatically. From the advent of artificial intelligence to the proliferation of drones and robotics, we have witnessed a paradigm shift in how businesses operate and individuals interact with the world around them. The theme of this summit, Unleash the Future, encapsulates our commitment to embracing technological innovations and leveraging them to drive sustainable growth and development. As we embark on this two-day journey, our goal is not only to explore the latest advancements in technology, but also to dive into the ethical, social, and economic implications of those innovations. It is crucial that we approach technology with a sense of responsibility, ensuring that it is used to uplift communities, foster inclusivity, and address pressing global challenges. In addition to our focus on technology, we also recognize the importance of addressing the evils of cybercrimes and creating awareness in society, starting from schools. By educating our youth about cybersecurity, we can empower them to navigate the digital world safely and responsibly. I am particularly excited about the participation of close to 40 business and technology leaders who will be sharing their views on various interesting topics. We have received an overwhelming response to our startup search program, with around 40 startups from all over India applying. We have selected five startups which will be presenting their projects and startups at this particular summit. In partnership with BITS BGIIES Accelerator Program, we are also hosting another pitching program for startups tomorrow. And during the valedictory session, we will be presenting seed funding of 10 lakhs to each of these startups. Furthermore, we have set up technological experience booths where attendees can engage with the latest innovations firsthand. These booths will provide valuable insights and inspirations for attendees to explore new possibilities and opportunities in technology space. I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to our sponsors for supporting this edition of the event, especially considering it is the first one. I truly, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate the support that you gave all of us to make sure that we are able to see this particular day and this global summit happening in Goa. Without these generous contributions, this summit would not have been possible. In conclusion, I want to extend my warmest wishes to each and every one of you for a fruitful and enriching experience at the Global Tech Summit 2024. Let us come together to embrace the future and shape a better world for our generations to come. Thank you, and may this summit be a resounding success for all of us.
Thank you so much, Mr. Anvekar. Your passion for Global Tech Summit is totally evident as it radiates onto the entire audience. Ladies and gentlemen, talking of a speaker and his passion that radiates onto not only an entire live audience, but his words impacting people who are not even physically present at the venue. He's somebody who's probably one of the most prolific speakers, but then he has to be because he's probably a seasoned politician with a long and a very, very rewarding career in the service of the nation. The 6 times Member of Parliament, the ex-Union Minister, the Chancellor of Rishihood University. He's seen it all. He's been a policy maker, he's been a part of the decision makers, he knows how the entire ball rolls. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, for the keynote address, I would like to invite none other than Mr. Suresh Prabhu.
Good morning, friends. Goa is a place where you sow something, it flourishes in no time. So when my friend, she was saying that people come here to visit as tourists for vacations, and she was saying even God visits here for holidays, for vacation. Actually, the truth is God lives here. They don't have to come here for vacation. They are part of Goa. So they're born here, they live here. And therefore, if some place, godly place, where something is sown, you will see it becoming one of the very large idea over a period of time. That's why I must thank you, my other friends, for thinking about this brilliant idea of technology summit. And I have always seen from very close personal experience that Honorable Chief Minister, he always supports such ideas. And despite the fact that he's busy in electioneering and everything, he's still here to actually support this concept to become a big idea where the Goa will benefit, Goans will benefit, country will benefit, and eventually, even because of its produces larger public good, world will benefit. When we think about technology, we always get overawed. Because technology is something which not many people understand. And we try to make it so complex that nobody should understand. Only when you monopolize it, then you start to commercialize it, then only people should understand, because then they will buy it. If they don't buy it, what's the use of a technology? Otherwise, it lives in a realm of something which is so complex. And therefore, we may think, having a summit like this in Goa, does it make sense? Actually, this is the right time to think about a new destinations. A destination like Goa, to actually think about germinating ideas like this, which will eventually become technologies. And therefore, these are absolutely the right time. Something interesting happened only yesterday, or even you said this morning, but now because of time difference, you can say yesterday from Indian context. In United States, which is actually a home to best technologies, the biggest technology companies are based in US. Most of the top technology companies, we call it 3 A's, Alphabet, which is actually the mother of Google, or Apple, Amazon. Amazon also has become a technology company actually, though it actually delivers all products to the consumers. All these companies have become so large, they have almost monopolized the technologies. Yesterday, again saying this morning in the US, something dramatic happened. The Attorney General, who is like our law minister in India, actually has filed a lawsuit against Apple. He says Apple is monopolizing and therefore abusing its market position. He said something very interesting, that the US laws, having monopoly is not a breach of law, but abusing that monopolistic position to prevent competitors from coming in is an abuse of law and actually a breaking of law. And therefore, they have filed a lawsuit. This is one of the biggest lawsuits of modern times, not only in the US but anywhere. But why I'm saying this is important? Because now when we are saying that what is the point of talking about technology when big companies have already monopolized it? They already have such huge power. Now in US, for example, Apple has almost 65% market share. So where is the question of others coming in? You have so much of power, you can actually predate it. And therefore, you cannot actually do anything there in that place. But at a time like this, when even US, which is actually having the best market-friendly laws, supposed to be, not always, is the country which the government of US is actually filing a suit like this. So just imagine, this provides entry point to so many new players. Because now Apple will not be able to say, I will not allow any new ideas to come in. In fact, recently Apple had said that in the Apple Store, they will not allow the new apps to come in. They in fact removed some of the apps. But then they had relent. But just imagine, this is the time when the world is going to be waiting for new ideas, new technologies. And we always seen the new ideas, new technologies never are born in the boardrooms of the large companies. Never. They're all born in some small little place. In fact, it's a paradox that most of the big companies today, they're born in garages. So it doesn't mean that I should suggest that all of you should first find out a garage so that you can succeed eventually. But this means that the ideas can happen anywhere. And there's no better place than Goa, because Goa is a natural place where natural instinct can come to fore. And it's always the case, not only here in the world. We have seen the scientists have proved that when you go as close as possible to the nature, the best part of you comes out, because we are a product of nature. So when you go closer to your mother, you'll always feel at ease, because child will feel very easy, it will be very comfortable when he's in the arms of the child is arm of the mother. Same is true that when you come closer to nature, the best in you will come to fore. And therefore Goa is a place where you can actually think about ideas, new technologies, and therefore this is the right time to have a summit like this. Also interestingly, very interestingly, that this monopolistic tendency, how they are changing. When you talk about technology, one part is the soft technology, the ideas, which eventually have to become product, like we just saw, a robotic, how it can function. But main platforms of manufacturing technological product, technology-driven products, we need semiconductor. And over a long period of time, some decades ago, US had some very substantial share in that. Then it moved out. Taiwan became a very big player in that. China is again trying to come in a big way. The first time, Intel, which was actually micro semiconductors and many things, had decided to invest $100 billion. $100 billion in the United States. $100 billion. $100 billion in few states. Of course, the government, the federal government is giving a huge support, including grants and also interest subsidy. But why is this is important? Again, in the context of what we are doing today, that we should not think that we are too late to enter this space. We are at the right time to enter the place, because the shifting is happening all over the world. And we should play a key role, India should play a key role into this global shift that are happening. And in that global shift, if India has to play a role, which India means who India? India has 28 states. So Goa is the right place to think about new technologies, new ideas, and therefore this summit which is taking place as a beginning of a new process, new thinking. And therefore, first of all, I would request all of you, including all of us, that we should not be constrained by the thinking that how can we do it? We can actually do anything. The only limitation is our own constant thinking. And therefore, if we really now put our eyes on something higher goals and think about technology, I think it's a good time. And thanks to Honorable Chief Minister, the government of Goa has, and I have seen it personally, as I said, will support it fully. So just imagine Goa can become the new technology hub of the world. Definitely for India to begin with, but over a period of time, even the world. I remember, I'll tell you something interesting. When I was a Commerce Industry Minister, I had commissioned a study which was chaired by Surjit Bhalla, an eminent economist who then Prime Minister appointed him as our head of India into International Monetary Fund. And it had a lot of very top people, including today's Defense Minister, who was that time working for Tata, so I had many more members, not Defense Minister, External Affairs Minister, Jaishankar. So that committee came a report in record time. What the idea was? How India should benefit from making this global shift that are going to happen. There was no COVID at that time. There was no China bashing as much as it is going on at that time. But even I felt that China will be a loser because of high cost that Chinese economy is now witnessing, and therefore we should be working on that. One of the idea that we have worked on was technology shift that should happen. And I'm so happy that you have really said it so well, and so is my dear friend Rajkumar, that we are now going to actually be seeing this happening for sure. And if it is going to happen, if we are not ready to plan for it, that's why I said it's the first one. But it's not just a first one, it's the beginning of a new process in which we can actually benefit from it immensely. And therefore, Goa has everything. But still Goa must have a negative list. That Goa must say we don't want something which pollutes Goa, which damages environment, which does not benefit people of Goa. Because why? What is the purpose of doing something in Goa which does not benefit Goans? So Chief Minister, keeping this in mind, has already said that these are the priority, and technology is one area which will not pollute, which will not create any environmental damage. It will create jobs of a level that we cannot even imagine. And therefore, we should try to work on this idea and take it forward in a very aggressive way. It's the first of its kind, but I'm sure, as all of you are there, I mean, you are the pioneers. Those who are 40, 50 companies or 40, 50 technology leaders who are here, I would call them pioneers. In fact, pioneers are normally one or two. There are more than that. So that means that we have a substantial critical mass that are necessary to actually take this idea forward. So we have to focus on some of these issues, but not only these issues. Because we say that data is going to be the new world. People say data is a new oil. In fact, oil is slippery. Data will always remain. And therefore, I think always this is going to be the new game changer. Artificial intelligence, we are just seeing the first wave of it. Artificial intelligence, today what it does, the GPT, they only collect the known information and try to collate it and offer it to you as a solution. But I have always seen that when there was a supercomputer, if you recall, in India was prevented from accessing supercomputer. The first supercomputer probably would be housed in a room as big as this. And today supercomputer of many times bigger capacity can be kept in my pocket. So that's a change that has happened. Why it has happened? Because of new generation of technology innovation has made this happen. So artificial intelligence today, it's just the tip of the iceberg. It is going to be manifesting in various forms in a different way. It's worrying also, because first time we are seeing that intelligence which was supposed to be humans' prerogative, domain, is now going to be out of it. But one good part is there is artificial intelligence, but still there is no artificial wisdom. So wisdom is still with us. So I think we can use it properly and make it happen. But what I'm saying is, this kind of new technology that are emerging, which already emerged, but they will get into the new generational forms and will become even much more intrusive as well as more effective. It's a time that we must try to think about what can be done in our context. See, a technology needs a market. A market means people. So if you can think about technologies that can actually solve a societal problem, it is something which can actually solve it, you will automatically see that technology becomes commercially very successful. And therefore we must identify such needs of society and work on that and try to focus on that. You will see a huge upswing into the business model. Those companies will develop them. Also, I would say, and that's my real little bit of a sensitive about me, sensitive to me, is sustainability. We must make sure that we should develop technologies for sustainable future for all of us. If the technology is successful and there is no future, what is that we have gained? We have lost everything ab initio. And therefore we must work in a way that we develop such technologies using this platform. They are all platforms. This is the artificial intelligence platform. What we make out of that is something in our hands. And therefore we should try to work on it. And I'm sure Goa is a place where this should really happen. I'm sure Chief Minister of Goa will make sure that all those companies which will come with new innovative ideas, with new IPs, intellectual properties, how that can be protected, they can be nurtured, they can be promoted, some sort of a cell in the Goa government can be useful to make sure that Goa will protect it. That's why people will come here. Those who have gone to China, they always seen that China used technology, but after some time they did not need the technology because they already copied and they tried to use it. India has a good record of honoring intellectual properties. So I think Goa should be the place where we should try to protect it, promote it, support it, and try to take it to the new level. It can create jobs, as I said, and Goa needs that kind of jobs, which can be intellectual. In fact, it is really surprising. I had a little fracture on my leg. In fact, this happened on the 1st of March when we had this last board. I was going from there I went to London, and there at the airport, our Heathrow is taken over by Goans. They speak the official language of Heathrow Airport is Konkani. They speak to each other only in Konkani. So my wife was with me, who was a Goan, so she was very comfortable. But point is, the Goans have this ability, intelligence, capacity, human resource is huge, and therefore we should try to capitalize on it, try to develop technology. Secondly, when we have this human resource, it also technology companies would need the ecosystem. Luckily, IIT campus is here, the forensic university campus is here, and this shows that we have the necessary ecosystem to catchment area for getting people who will really be needed for developing this technology. Engineering colleges are here. So I think we should try to use these great intrinsic advantages that we have, including human resource as well as the ecosystem, to make Goa as a new capital for development of technology, for future of the world, for betterment of the world. And that's what Goa is capable of doing, and therefore I'm sure this will happen thanks to these great efforts. I'm really impressed by the Vibrant Goa Foundation, the people who work with so much of commitment and dedication and sincerity. And this is amazing that such few number of people can produce such high intensity results. And that also goes to say, because the government of Goa led by Honorable Chief Minister is supporting them so much. It is very rare to see such kind of combination. Like the other day I was saying, this is a real public-private partnership of a nature that should be really be nurtured anywhere in the world. That public support, private initiative, private means non-governmental initiative, but something like this will go a long way in making Goa where Goa deserves to be. So thank you very much. I'm really happy that this is happening, and this is a precursor to so many events that will happen over a period of time in this year, including the flagship event that will be really the big one, probably the biggest of its kind in anywhere in India. And I'm sure many countries expressed their desire to participate in this program, and I'm sure this will really again be a beginning of a new process to create more jobs, people will benefit, self-help groups will benefit, people, fishermen will benefit, farmers will benefit, youth will benefit, women will benefit, and that's how Goa will develop, because Goans will benefit. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Suresh Prabhu, sir. As always, a very comprehensive but a very enlightening address. And no wonder he's so passionate about this entire event. And as he talked about how result-oriented the Vibrant Goa Foundation is, well, Mr. Suresh Prabhu should know, because he is the chief of the board of advisors to the Vibrant Goa Foundation. So, ladies and gentlemen, whatever you see here today has also happened under his guidance and mentorship. With this, as he was signing off, he said something amazing. He said the Vibrant Goa Foundation is such a small set of people, and yet look at the kind of results they deliver. Well, this stands for entire Goa, ladies and gentlemen. Personally, I believe in my heart that while Goa is the smallest state in India, as a state, it has the biggest personality in India. And that is what Goa is capable of. Thank you so much, sir. A small population, a lot of youth, high literacy, just waiting for the right direction, raring to go. Talking of direction, talking of raring to go brings us to leadership. This would have been the moment where I would have invited the Honorable CM Dr. Pramod Sawant onto the podium to share his thoughts and inspiration with us this morning. But as Mr. Suresh Prabhu started his address, he talked about timing. और थोड़ा सा जो समय है वो हमारे फेवर में नहीं है, because the model code of conduct is already in play. लेकिन इससे पहले कि मैं आगे कुछ बोलूं, मैं दो पंक्तियां कहना चाहूंगी कि झरने का वेग नहीं अपना सकते, झरने का वेग नहीं अपना सकते तो नदी की तरह बहो, झरने का वेग नहीं अपना सकते तो नदी की तरह मंद मंद बहो, पर बहो तो, और अगर कुछ कह नहीं सकते तो मत कहो, पर आस पास रहो, रहो तो. I think sometimes the presence itself is a testimony of Goa's commitment to not only the technology and the IT revolution that is sweeping the world, and the fact that Goa wants its own pedestal in this movement, the fact that the Honorable CM is here with us this morning to be a part of this moment, despite the fact that he knows that he won't be able to address us, speaks a lot. So ladies and gentlemen, moving on to another memorable moment of this inaugural session, we would once again like to bring a little bit of tech in. And our presenting sponsor for this entire event, 63 Moons, we have the Managing Director, Mr. Joseph Messi, in the audience. I would like to invite him on the stage to present a very special memento to Honorable CM Sir. And as Mr. Messi walks up, I would request one of the above and beyond to please bring the memento onto the stage. Let's have a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. We have another memento for Madam Svetika Sachanji. I would request Mr. Joseph Messi to do the honors for that as well. Sir, we have one more memento, Joseph sir, for Svetika ma'am. Thank you, Beyond. So ladies and gentlemen, mementos हो गए, लेकिन picture अभी बाकी है. The only reason we wanted to do this at this point of time was because officially, as per the flow, this would have been the time for the Honorable CM Sir to take over the podium. But since we are bypassing that particular inclusion in the flow, I would now like to invite on the podium the President of Goa Technology Association, a co-founder of Team Inertia Technologies, which is a web design and software development company in Goa, a two-decade-old premier web design company. He's a software development and digital marketing professional with accomplished projects all over the country, across all the global geographies and boundaries. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands up for the President GTA, Sujit Shetty.
Good morning, Goa. Okay, I welcome all the dignitaries on the stage, my esteemed guests, and all my fellow friends who have come here today this morning. Firstly, I would like to congratulate, one person who has been my client long time back. He's a very dear friend of mine, and now I call him my advisor. Okay, he's the immediate past president of GTA, and he's none other than Milind Anvekar. Please give him a big round of applause. He is the current chairman of the Global Tech Summit, and for putting up this entire show together, along with his tech committee, which was specially curated for this particular event. He truly deserves a big, big round of applause. He has finally done it because this was his dream, and we have been speaking about this. Also, my guide, who is right up over here, Rajkumar sir, who is the chairman of the Vibrant Goa Foundation, and Mr. Arman Bankli, who is the president, for their vision to have this separate event of tech for the, under the leadership of Vibrant Goa Foundation. And to all the trustees and the team of the Vibrant Goa who have tirelessly put this together for the first of its kind tech summit in Goa. We are truly, truly lucky to have this event happening in Goa. As you can see now, Goa is now truly buzzing, isn't it? Okay, and that's the reason why today we at Goa Technology Association, we all call it as IT is better in Goa. In fact, IT is better in Goa now. IT has been in Goa for almost more than 3 decades. We have had companies as early as 1996, that has started over here. But there was not much support, or there was not much buzz, or there was not much exposure in terms of technology that we had back then. Over the years, we have seen that there has been quite a struggle for a lot of IT companies to come down to Goa and start their operations. But things have changed, and things have changed drastically. Okay, it just took one right moment, one right person in the right position to change things for Goa, and that happened in 2017 when we had Mr. Shri Rohan Kaunteji, who became the then IT minister at that point of time, and tried to bring about a lot of change in the state. And he started primarily with bringing in the policy, which was missing, the much needed IT policy, because in general, we as human beings, we have this complaint that, we missed something, or we missed the so-called IT revolution, or we missed the so-called IT bus, okay? There is no missing anything. We've always been in that bus doing our own bit to grow our companies, or to make the ecosystem flourish with the kind of support that we have been giving. But when the government comes and gives a little bit of additional support in the form of IT and startup policy, that's when things actually started gaining a little bit of momentum. And that's when some of the IT owners, as I would call it, came together in 2017, and we decided to start this association. Of course, we did not start in a garage, but I think we met in a terrace where we quickly formalized that we need this association going so that we can support the government and do the much needed thing that we needed for this startup ecosystem to build in the state. These kind of events is a dream for every IT company or IT professional in Goa. And over the last 7-8 years, we have seen that happening in Goa. We have seen a lot of events. In fact, just recently we also had the International Robotic Festival happening, and now we have the Global Tech Summit, which covers much more diaspora of the IT, be it the drones, the cyber security, the robotics, the 3D, the artificial intelligence, and you're going to hear a lot of speakers. This is the kind of platform that we Goans require, so that we can foster this culture among our children and give them this kind of opportunity so that they can flourish. What is it in it for GTA? Or what is GTA's vision, to make this digital India or digital Goa? Some of the members are already working in some of the advanced technology that you see, maybe using IoT technologies or digital networks. Our members are already working with some of the top global brands in the world, exploring opportunities for employment in the state. Some of them are working in travel tech, as you know, Milind Anvekar, he works for Open Destination, which is one of the biggest travel companies. Some of them are working in digitization of documentations, which will help future generations. And GTA is always aligned with the government, and we are in constant discussion to make Goa for today and Goa for tomorrow by being part of the Goa Investment Promotion Board and ensuring that we have the right set of companies coming down to Goa. So these are really, really exciting time for Goa, and I look forward for all the IT professionals to come together, support these kind of events so that we all can look forward to more and more tech summits happening in Goa. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sujit Shetty. And with this, ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to invite a guest onto the podium who is a first generation entrepreneur. And as Mr. Shetty talked in his speech, that these are the kind of opportunities that we need in Goa. These are also the kind of role models that we need in Goa. That is also the role models that we need in Goa. As a first generation entrepreneur, a faculty in management, mentor to several budding entrepreneurs and students, he is somebody who Goa's ecosystem very, very intimately recognizes. The council chair for ASSOCHAM, Shri Mangirish Pai Raikar.
Hello friends, I would like to take this opportunity first of all for two things. One is to wish our dynamic Chief Minister all the very best, and for completing 5 years. He is the first Chief Minister to complete 5 years in the after the statehood has been granted. So he needs a big applause for that. Sir, we wish you all the best for your future. And I'm sure Goa would march ahead more vibrantly in the years to come. Second thing is, his penchant for, working is such that even when he was on his way, he left his security behind, went in a valley to look after the people who had met with an accident. And I think this act of of course he's a doctor, but his act deserves applaud from all of us. And sir, I think we are grateful for you, for having you on the stage today. Friends, I would like to make a mention today of Mr. Suresh Prabhu also, because he is one person with international exposure, and for a global tech summit like this, who else could have been a better advisor and a guide than Mr. Suresh Prabhu. We are really grateful for him to be here. And more importantly, what I would like to suggest today, I would not like to take much time because CM also has to leave. There are two things which I would like to make a mention. That today we have a dynamic Prime Minister who has utilized the technology to great effect. He was the first Prime Minister to utilize artificial intelligence while talking to Tamil Nadu people, where the real-time translation happened. I think this is something which we need to also take forward, utilize the the technology for the betterment and for the good of the society and for the development of the country. I am sure that we will march ahead in much greater speed with this type of tech summits happening here. From ASSOCHAM, I would like to assure you that in the next summit, we will like to have, ASSOCHAM has worldwide presence, so we could have the other countries also participating here as the participant nations, and also take this mission forward and build Goa's ecosystem of this technology hub, and we make the next generation all the opportunities available. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mangirish Pai Raikar, and a big thank you to the 20 people in the audience that are still clapping. But with this, ladies and gentlemen, for each one of you that is seated here, as you would step out, you would see the expo later in the day as the inaugural session closes and we start with the knowledge sharing sessions. You would know that any such event of this magnitude, this scale, is not possible without the support of our sponsors and our partnering bodies. So ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to not only say a big thank you to our sponsors and our partnering and supporting bodies. And our way of saying thank you is that we would like to invite you on the stage for a group picture with the esteemed guests. I would like to invite Mr. Arman Bankley on the podium to please kindly invite all of us guests and sponsors up here.
Greetings to the honorable dignitaries and ladies and gentlemen. I would not just like to take much time. I would just like to announce that today the 2 days will be an exciting lineup with power-packed sessions featuring eminent speakers from various global organizations discussing the future and technology in the fields of artificial intelligence, robotics, drones, cybersecurity, 3D printing, and many more. We will be having 18 plus keynote sessions with 5 panel discussions and 7 fireside chats and networking zones all day around for next 2 days. And I would just like to thank my trustee team and the tech team for being a great partner to this and make up this event. I would like to now invite all our guest speakers as well as our sponsors to please join me up over here for a stage. On the stage for a photograph with our Honorable Chief Minister for Goa. All the association heads also please. All the trade partner association heads also please.
Ladies and gentlemen, while Arman sir is already made aware of the guests who are supposed to be joining us, this is a quick call out. If we have our associating body people here, GCCI, we already have them up on the stage. ASSOCHAM, we already have Mr. Mangirish Pai Raikar. Goa State Industries Association, BNI, लघु उद्योग भारती, आप में से मैं जिन संस्थाओं के नाम ले रही हूं, अगर आप यहां पर हैं तो आपसे निवेदन है कि प्लीज मंच पर आइए. गोवा मैनेजमेंट एसोसिएशन, गोवा टेक एसोसिएशन, एंड बिफोर वी टेक द पिक्चर, मिस्टर फोटोग्राफर्स, हाँ जी, especially the one who's being paid for it, we are missing 3 main guests. FSAI, Institute of Engineers India, India Institute of Architects, Goa IT Business Association, GIBA, Goa IT Business Association, CDFG, which is the Computer Dealers Forum of Goa, CREDAI, IIID, which is the Institute of Indian Interior Designers, Goa Pharma Manufacturing Association, TTAG, Saraswat Chamber, and Vedna Industries Association. Well, ladies and gentlemen, for the ones that are not clicking pictures, तो फिर तालियां ही बजा दीजिए कम से कम, इतना खूबसूरत ग्रुप स्टेज पर है. और आप देख रहे हैं यहाँ पर मंच पे full merger of the human and AI elements together, और आगे यही होने वाला है. ये समावेश है तकनीक का, और ये जो 2 दिन का महाकुंभ है, ये इसी की सेलिब्रेशन है.